There's no doubt that we will need to put pressure on Desmoteron once again. The Witch of the Valkyr will not let us walk free if she can help it. Okay, so Helia is still there. Okay. An army of bone and steel. And you're telling me that this is going to be the next chapter. Nah, if Wowhead doesn't have it, then it doesn't matter. Champion, quickly. We must stop the Primus before it's too late. Nafrazim scum. You cannot deceive the House of Eyes. Well. That's unfortunate. This is the 5th Dreadlord that I found infiltrating our forces this week. Unchecked, it could cause tremendous damage to our foothold here. In life, I learned how to identify these creatures from a demon hunter. It makes it far... You can name him. You can absolutely name him. It makes it far easier for me to locate them, but I cannot be in all places at once. We must report these findings to the Primus. More Dreadlords. I should have suspected the fangs of the Nefrius would find a way here again. I'm pleased to know that despite the setbacks in my absence, the House of the Eyes has not lost their sights. It's an entry-level Dreadlord. The threat the Nafrazim pose to our forces must not be underestimated. They are cunning, rivaling the best veterans of the House of Eyes, and we do not know their full plan. Among the Venveer, there is one whose wrath scourged the Nafrazim from the Shadowlands. Wait, what? Among the Venveer, there is one whose wrath scourged the Nafrazim from the Shadowlands for many thousands of years. But aren't the Nafrazim connected to the Nefrius? I ask you to travel to Sinfall, seek Prince Renefal, and deliver to him this missive. I shall send one of my own spies, the Baroness Vash, to meet you there. Make use of her experience with the Nafrazim. Interesting. Okay. I am down. Teach me more. The unseen guests are among us. Prince Renefal, the unseen guests walk among us once again. We have not ascertained their long-term goals, nor are we aware of how long it has been since they returned to the Shadowlands, if indeed they ever truly left. I've dispatched this Mallwalker and a Baroness of the House of Eyes with experience in hunting Nafrazim. I would ask for you to introduce them to the Harvester of Rav. We're out of time for niceties, and the Shadowlands need the Harvester of Rav to join his side. I expect no failure. To the Stone Raid, Harvester of Rav, the Nafrazim have returned. I'm sending you resources to help deal with this threat. I challenge you to remind the Shadowlands the meaning of Rav. The time for neutrality is over. Only together can we stand against the might of the Banished One. Cool. Okay, so the last of the Venveer that we need to recruit are going to be recruited in this way. The Primus summons them to help deal with the Nafrazim problem. And the Nafrazim, we saw them last week as well on Corvia. And the Nafrazim, the Unseen Guest, there's a book called Enemy Infiltration. I've got a video up called The Cosmic War Warcraft if you want more details. There's a lot going on there, but it kind of seems that the Nefrius and the Nafrazim are actually connected to each other. Which is why I'm like, we're actually going to be taking action against them. Curious, interesting, I'm excited. So the previous one... The previous one was the Necrolord campaign. This time we're going to do the Venveer campaign. Sinfall. This place holds barely a fraction of the power it once held. One more reason to despise the Dreadlords and their arrogant actions against the light. I'd fully expected Sire Denethrius to order me to smash this place into ruin along with you and the prince still in it, but he never did. The relationship between Denethrius and Renefal is one not easily set aside by mere betrayal or attempted patricide, apparently. Rav. There's an energy to those souls fraught with wrath, rage, anger, and hate. This power goes beyond just the intensity of the anima that we cultivate, but gives a will to that power. And so shall be the Medallion of Rav. Let this artifact grant authority over my military ward, where stone is made flesh and trained for battle, where weapons might be forged to contain the ingenuity and anger of the souls that shall power them. Let us harness this sin so that it might allow us to carry on our noble purpose elsewhere. There's a note from Renefal. The Stone Rite is untouchable. Not even our own Stoneborn forces would dare raise a talon against her. What is worse is that she is one of the first Venveer, like myself and the Curator. So there are different kind of Venveer. They're the ones that are like the first ones created out of the Nefrius' image, and then there are like mortal souls converted into Venveer. So, from Renefal's note, he says that she is one of the first. Like himself and the Curator, they have been created from the Nefrius' own image. She was not made from a soul, but willed into being. No sinstone, no mortal trappings, or past deeds will bend her to our will. If she is unwilling to provide us her medallion, we stand very little chance of recovering it. But then we have a Curator's addendum. Renefal. You are confusing the stone rites with the original Harvester of Rav. She still exists, but had her power stripped and given to the stone rite long ago. If memory serves, the stone rite was the first Venveer forged of a mortal soul to assume the role of a Venveer. She did horrible things in life in the name of protecting her people. I've not seen the original Harvester of Rav for a few epochs. However, as to the location of the stone rite Sinstone, she secured it after the incident with the Accuser and the Lord Chamberlain. We would have an easier time retrieving something from the jailer than recovering her Sinstone now. Ask me these things. I am the specialist after all. So, Renefal's note about the stone rite is the original one, forged out of the Nefrius' own image, is not right. There was the original one. She still exists, but her powers have been stripped away, and then were given to this stone rite, who apparently in life did horrible things in the name of protecting her people. Interesting. So that makes you wonder who exactly the original stone rite is and where they might be. And some were like, maybe it's the one, what is she called? Lucille? Like the crazy one that leads you to Teotar. That's something that I saw suggested on the Discord, and I thought it was kind of a cool idea. Hello, Accuser.
No atonement without
Malwalker, I'm willing to acquiesce to the request from the Baroness for Kilfus to accompany you on this mission. However, keep an eye on the two of them. I'm not convinced she's a good influence. And she may cause Kilfus to regress into former practices. He has been showing promise lately, but I would feel more comfortable with this if he had another century or two. Oh, this is fantastic. You're a bad influence, Vash. Of course, Lady Vash, Kilfus, and Illidan. The Dream Team back from Warcraft. The Dream Team back in the Burning Crusade. And now reunited in the Shadowlands.
grief accomplishes nothing.
I have been in Revendreth for less than 5 minutes, and the Accuser has tried to get me to atone 3 times already. It would amuse me if the Primus had not warned me how dangerous she is in this place. It almost makes me feel sorry for Kilfus. Prince Renefal is assembling a diplomatic envoy to the Stone Rites. I need one of the souls from Revendreth's arsenal, Kilfus Sunstrider. He and I have worked together against the Nafrazim in the past. See, he is included in the envoy. Uh-huh. The Nefrius, you still in there? Oh! Oh, of course. Yeah, because the light is really bright. I was like, what do they have on their faces? But yeah, that makes sense.
However faint, the light.
See me. So there was also a connection between the Red Lords and what they did with the light, right? So that's interesting. Alright, Renefal.
Come forth, catalyst of change.
It will take time. What happened is this is going to be the cutscene again. Yeah, it's going to be the cutscene again.
Ever fond of saying
Yeah, alright. The Nafrazim have returned. I dared not imagine they would ever grow so bold again. A shame that they had not learned in their exile and returned to us as enemies instead of family. The Red Lords were exiled?
there is a simplicity.
The Primus was correct. The person we need is the Stone Rite. Her grievances against the unseen could fill a library. I believe you and I are long overdue in convincing her to join our cause. I will make the arrangements. We shall go properly this time, with gifts and diplomacy. You should warn Chera. She will want to arrange an escort. Our allies grow in strength. We owe it to your efforts. We need to go petition the Stone Rites. So, he has finally worked up the nerve to meet with her. I must gather a worthy escort. Okay. Oh, we get to ride his carriage. Oh, we're going in style, baby. I mean, I already saw her down below in Sinfall, but we're just gonna imagine that we didn't see that. He has a party hat on. Oh, that makes me happy. All right. I concede that you two may have extensive experience with the Nafrazim, but I protest that neither of you are good for each other. Kilfast requires more penance, and so do you, Baroness. She is such a mom. Would you see me atone to the point where I no longer have value? Where I am no longer myself? So Kael'thas and Vash reunited in the Shadowlands. So we got Thrall and Draka, now Kael'thas and Vash.
Nice
Nice.
to meet you.
Oh, hello. Please be so kind to eliminate this Dreadlord threat as quickly as possible. The long-standing consequences to the Harvester of Ra of hunting them presents more destruction than we are prepared to handle in the wake of the Nephri's betrayal. Also, if you speak with the Naru again, please notify her that her continued presence in our realm, of her own free will, may lead to the manifestation of her own Sin Stone. While hardly a common occurrence with entities from other planes of existence, I do recall more than one entity manifesting Sin Stones that were quite challenging to deal with. Huh. So it appears that the Curator is getting more and more of her memory back. And a Naru can acquire a Sin Stone? Neat. Well, there you go. The more you know and all that.
We need to remember.
Retcon much? What do you mean, Nada? Countless ages ago, just after the first Venthyr were sired, the Nephrius unveiled another creation, the Nafrezim. Forged to be the ultimate infiltrators, they bore the influence of death into the realms of our rivals, as well as the worlds of the living. Despite their subtlety, one of these incursions was discovered. In response, the full wrath of the light fell upon Revendreth, setting ablaze the ward once held by the Nafrezim. The armies of Maldraxxus did not rise up to defend us, so the Stone Right carved her Stone Legion to strike back against the light. Once the Naru were routed, the Stone Right turned their anger upon the Nafrezim, blaming them for the loss of so many of her children. The conflict was ended by the Nephrius, who said he would exile them to a world beyond the Shadowlands. The Nephrius never told me what became of the Nafrezim. Only later did I learn that mortal souls had come to know them by another name. The Dreadlords. Pom pom pom. So originally, the origin of the Nafrezim, the origin of the Dreadlords, was very much steeped in the domain of chaos and fel. It was once upon a time said that they came out of the Twisted Nether. But reading back in the Chronicles, it appears that what happened to the Nafrezim is that they infiltrated the different cosmic domains of the Warcraft universe, amongst them the Fel domain. Which might also be the reason why the Nafrezim that we see on Corvia, as well as the Nafrezim that we've seen before, look a little bit different, like the Fel influence. And then the Nephrius apparently exiled the Nafrezim to stop the war with the Stone Right. So they were supposed to infiltrate the domain of the light. The light apparently found out about this, which is interesting. And in retaliation actually attacked the Shadowlands. I think I even goofed back then about the vampires having to fight back against the light. And people were like, yeah, but what about Maldraxxus though? Like, those probably helped out. But no, Maldraxxus did not actually help out. Instead, that is the birth of the Stoneborn with the Stone Right. And the Stone Right at the time just went on this massive rampage against the Dreadlords. Interesting. Does make you wonder, like, the Dreadlords have been infiltrating all the domains. Like, where are they in the other domains? Of course, we've seen the Dreadlords on our own, very own world, Azeroth. They're also the ones who informed Sargeras about the ultimate plan of the Void Lords, which then pushed Sargeras into forming his Burning Legion and whatnot. And finally, there was one more thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, the exiled place. It might have been Corvia. Or maybe send them elsewhere. Interesting. Greetings, Stone Right.
I am not overly fond of...
The light-infused Dreadlord is called Lofrexian. What do you bring me, Maulwalker? Be advised that I have no patience for deception, and I'm not above feeding messengers to the Gargans. I've got a message from the Primus. Message from the Primus. Kulik. A letter from the Primus himself. I had wondered what had become of that old tyrant. Glances over the letter. I see. Dreadlords, of course. Of course they would come back now. At all times. I half suspected they returned during the drought. I was not entirely convinced you were not one the first time that I saw you. They've gotten more clever over the eons since I banished them from Revendreth, but not clever enough, I think. Come, Maulwalker. Follow me and do not make a fuss. Keep your weapon ready. The envoy you brought is not as well intentioned as you might have thought. Uh-oh. Who amongst you is a Dreadlord?
I have harvested enough warriors to...
My dear Stone Right, Harvester of Rav, wielder of Alu. Wielder of a what? Chelra the Blade Wall, how have you been, my child? Mother of Stone, you honor me with your concern, I am well. Impressive, considering the Nephrius had you beheaded after casting Renafal into the maw. Reveal yourself, infiltrator. Always so clever, only I am not the infiltrator, I am the distraction, Nalraga said. Now, seize the medallion, remove the interlopers! Ha! Well. That just happened. Everybody's a Dreadlord. Ah.
If you have something to say, then
Chelra was a Nafrazim the entire time I knew her. Even in death, I must still contend with the schemes of the Nafrazim. I've grown too trusting in my penance. The Stone Rights medallion must not stay in the hands of the Nafrazim. My own brief encounter with these medallions revealed a strength and power to them that could be used in nefarious purposes. The medallions are not a subtle magic, and their effect on this realm is easily tracked. I suggest we give chase and eliminate this Nalragas before she can be
I will
reinforced.
contemplate my
Let
transgression.
Nafrazim, Dreadlords, the unseen guests, call them what you will. They are a race that was crafted to be the greatest collection of spies and infiltrators in all of reality. Once upon a time. Their intrusion has underestimated three things. You see, you thought you had a clever plan, but you underestimated us. You underestimated Kilfa Sunstrider. You underestimated Baroness Vush. And most of all, you underestimated High Chap. I brought a tool. Kilfas and I used detect Nafrazim when we served under Illidan, and I am the matron of spies. Let us hunt some spies.
not linger here for
Here, I brought a tool that we once used to spot the Nafrazim back in Outland. Wait, what? An orb of revelation? Then Vush, why are you here? Why are you here? You could have just given me this orb. You don't have to... You just wanted to hang out with Kilfas, didn't you? You got your own plans going on. I am on to you. You just wanted to see your bestest buddy Kilfas again. Hello? Any Dreadlords? It's literally demon eyes. Oh my word. Okay. She wants to kill some Dreadlords to hang out with Kilfas. Can you really blame her? Uh-huh. Okay. So, any Dreadlords about? I wonder if Demon Hunters just don't need this orb. Like, imagine doing this quest as a Demon Hunter. You could just, you know, do your thing. A harvester without a medallion. You are but a shadow of your former fury. That model is badass, though. Oh, you going in? I wield more than enough fury to deal with you.
I stand ready.
Whoa! Wait, she actually wields a loon? You actually were trying to say that she wields a loon? Did you happen to hear which afterlife Illidan was sent to? We think he may still be alive. What? The betrayer still lives? Huh. Neat. Wait, I can see their name tags, but... Oh, look at that. Surprise, it's actually a Dreadlord. I never imagined I would have to deal with the Nafrazim again. You were never the one. I accredit it with good force. Wow. So, okay, I now see why you wanted to hang out with Kilfas again. You just wanted to get a couple more stabs in, did you? Your Stoneborn cannot find us all. We are everywhere. She actually wields a loon. How cool is that? I wonder what the connection there is gonna be. Like, what the a loon? Venfeir? What? She died protecting her people? Are we doing time travel deaths? Like, did Tirana die and did she come back as a Stone Right? Is that what's happening now? Renneval, earlier... Where did the line go? My dear Stone Right, harvester of Wrath, wielder of Alu. And he didn't finish a sentence. And now she's like moonbeaming everybody. So... I kind of feel that, you know, she was like a wielder of a loon. Continue to delay our foes. The plan's near fruition. Mal'Ganis. Oh! Mal'Ganis, come back, daddy. Continue to delay our foes. The plan nears fruition. Illidan's lackeys. Anaferon sends his regards. Ha. And she did. I have spoken with the Stone Wraiths. Shelra fell to the Master when I was a prisoner of the Maw. She was my friend and protector through countless ages, and I did not even know she had been slain, her identity stolen. One more sin for the Nefrius to atone for. All according to plan. Of course it is. The Venfeir have grown complacent, unwilling to acknowledge the reality that the Nafresi might return. The same blindness left them exposed to the Nefrius' treachery. They will be far more vigilant now. Mal'Ganis. It has been many ages since I've said his name, and now I find that we must hunt him down. If he is the Medallion of Wrath, then there is nowhere he can hide. We can use the other medallions that we have to recover to locate him. Join me in Sinfall and bring your Dreadlord hunting party. Are we the Scooby Gang? We're the Scooby Gang. I suspect that we will have need of them.
You and me against
Maulwalker
the
with me.
enemy.
The rest of you, make for Sinfall. I want the medallion back and Mal'Ganis' head on a pike. On a spike, even. Okay. I get to fly with you. Nice. Is kill Scooby-Doo. Nah, but the cool thing about Mal'Ganis... And bringing it back into the storyline, back in Wrath of the Lich King, there was an unfinished questline with Mal'Ganis. He actually shows up in that expansion. And he tells us that without his aid, we will never be able to defeat the Lich King. Now, we proved him wrong, of course. But maybe he wasn't talking about that. Maybe he was talking about more in this direction. They could definitely connect some dots that have been left open back then. Which would be rather cool.
Welcome, my fellow doomed friend, the Drow.
You have my ear.
Maulwalker, such a pleasure to see you again. I do endeavor to enjoy myself on this little outing, and it's such a pleasure to see one of your unique nature at such a gathering. I trust you will not take it personally if I continue to disavow any former or future alliances with you. A lady must maintain her public image.
Until we meet again. And remember. Hello. You'll need to wait your turn for torment.
Okay. It seems to be about all we got.
What can this humble fallen prince
The Nafresi may not be Venfeir, but nor were they crafted from souls. In many ways, they are more my siblings than my fellow Venfeir. A shame what they have chosen to become. Chaira, I mean, Ragus, would not have been working alone. We must assume the worst, and then that all of our friends and allies are who they seem to be. It will take time for the Court of Harvesters to render our detection ritual. While we do so, we will be exposed. I ask that you use the techniques you employed at Dominance Gate within Sinfall to rout out any Nafrezim within our ranks. Good hunting.
look upon you and dare to feel?
Interesting. If the Nafrezim have infiltrated Sinfall, they will be communicating, and not just through hand gestures or spoken words. They like to use magical written messages concealed by a simple cantrip spell, invisible to the average observer. If we survive this, join me in Maldraxxus. We can make use of your skills. Is that sympathy from the Siren? No, though it pains me to admit it, I am right where I need to be. Kael'thas is learning. However, the trinket Vash gave you, or a demon hunter's vision, might be enough to find these missives. Find these messages and bring me their contents. Translated from infernal cryptograms found within Sinfall. This item can be read. The Only Real Co. Thank you very much for the 18 months. Doing good. New 9.1 stuff. I am well excited.
Mind your ways, lest Revendreth becomes your true fate.
When Arthas killed Mal'Ganis and Northrend, were he sent to the Shadowlands? No, Arthas did not actually kill Mal'Ganis. As per usual with the Dreadlords, they're just sent back to the Twisted Nether, where they regenerate. I think that there's a distinction between the Dreadlords that we see here in the Shadowlands and the Dreadlords that actually infiltrated the Domain of Chaos, aka the Nafrezim as we've known them so far. I think that there's a bit of a difference between them. And in the case of Arthas striking down Mal'Ganis, he was not perma-killed because they made sure that Frostmourne doesn't do the soul-sucking thing when it comes to the Dreadlords. But he was sent back to the Twisted Nether, and then he just came back like the other ones. Okay, so Find little cryptograms. We're transcribing them now. We're also looking for any infiltrators. Okay. Just don't take Teotar away from me, alright? Oh, snap! It's the innkeeper. Excuse me, innkeeper.
I would wager you are hiding men.
We are a long way from Silphus. Oh my fucking god, what? Is that the one from the classic Hunter quest? The unwelcome guest. Subterfuge and counterinsurgents was never my strong suit. We always had souls sent here that were far better than I at such tasks.
The drought, the lack of souls, the jailer.
I have
And
seen many newly carved sin stones.
this does not make sense. Their goals seem too widespread. My assumption was that they've been planning to steal my medallion, but it would appear that their designs go beyond that. What are they really up to? Here, you can have a translated copy.
I have heard
Lady Meltranix, I charge you with securing information regarding the assets. We must know both of the security and the maintenance of the assets' location. Kistrenov, stall them. Find any way and how to slow the advancing power of the Maulwalker and their allies. If there is a way to choke their economy, do so. If there's a way for supplies to go missing, make it happen. Nauragus, do not kill Renefal. I know you will be tempted, but we will still need him, and his death would upset the Master. Denethrius, yeah? Jeneth, be mindful of the forces being sent to the Maw. If Sinfal is foolish enough to distribute forces into that place, you must find a way to infiltrate them and ensure their defeats. Talia Troven, infiltrate the dredgers, get to know them, they could go places most cannot. Movralan, search the archives, Sinfal is home to ancient knowledge and we must learn of what happened to Kifretan. She's been lost to us for long enough now, it is time we recovered her. Solaner, I want a detailed log of all peoples entering or leaving Sinfal, frequency, guard rotation, and so on. Most importantly, watch the dredgers. We will need them for the final stage of the plan. Safrovar, get out there now. Your identity is about to be discovered. Sibyl walks the halls of Sinfal once again, and she will remember the smell of your aura. Safrovar the Corruptor? Leave before it's too late, but avoid arousing suspicions. Fake your death if you must. Sibyl? Hey, wait. So this seems to be hinting at Sibyl being the original Stone Rite, right? Melganus, yours shall be the greatest challenge. Infiltrate Renefal's inner circle, walk side by side with our brother, and ensure that he comes to no harm. Endear yourself to the Azerovians and allay their suspicions. When the time is right, we will give you the honor of revealing my plan to Renefal. Devarok, if you fail us again, I will personally flay you. When Melganus springs his trap, you are responsible for recovering the asset. Do not fail me. This is the Master's final order, and I will see it executed correctly. The real asset would be Denethrius, right? Like the blade. They mentioned at BlizzCon that people were really hyped about Denethrius, so they were going to do something with him. We're ready. The Court of Harvesters shall use the powdered medallions that we have gathered thus far to locate the Medallion of Rav. So long as they have not removed it from the realm, we should be able to divine its presence. This is not an easy ritual, and the Nafrizim specialize in avoiding detection. When you see the path, take it and move with speed. And when you find them, wait for us before you engage.
No possibility of victory.
Come, my fellow harvesters, let us summon Rav to find Rav.
What sin shall we redeem first?
Uh-huh. So we got all of them back again. That's cool. Oh! Oh! Oh, there's hatred being unleashed. Follow the hatreds. I don't know if it was Tychondrius who wrote those. Guess we're gonna find out. Yeah, follow the trail of hatreds. And Garrosh, you will deal with Garrosh. Gary will have his part to play. Follow those Shah. Can we now open up this gate? Oh. Huh. I don't know if we could always open up this gate, but apparently we can open up this gate. My vengeance will not wait. We strike now.
And the more is inevitable for us all.
I will not suffer my medallion in the hands of these unwelcome guests. The Medallion of Wrath is more than just a powerful artifact. In the hands of enough regime, it could be used to shape this realm to the dark purpose. They already nearly destroyed the Ember Ward with their reckless schemes. I will not have my medallion used for their ends. Come, let us get us back.
I will not tolerate war between my children of stone.
I don't know which one came first, though, but they mentioned that both of them were, like, carved out of the Nefrius' will. Don't keep investigated. I mean, the market is still there, but... Dredgers. That is not a dredger. That is a suspicious dredger. Wielding the Medallion of Wrath right there. Reveal yourself, Mal'Ganis. The Harvest of Wrath. How I've missed your purity of conviction. A pity it will now be lost forever. Nafrazim, bring me her fangs. Ha! Neat. I mean, I could take Mal'Ganis. I've taken Mal'Ganis before. I could take Mal'Ganis again. Wouldn't be much of a problem, really. Oh, Kilphas is... Oh, where's Vash then? Oh, Vash is hiding in the shadows. Oh, I see. Are you a Dreadlord, Vash? Is that the game we're playing? Yeah. Gorgonon. You remember the name Gorgonon? I'm honestly wrecking my brain and be like, do I remember these Dreadlord names from somewhere? Like the lady I can write off right away, but Terra Vangelis? Oh, that's also a lady Dreadlord. Oh, alright. Quest objective from Demonfall Canyon in Classic? Huh.
My honor for Revendreth.
No voice files for Mal'Ganis implemented quite yet. I do like the shiny shorts. Can I pick those up? No. So this is all a distraction, right? Like right now there's a team infiltrating, I don't know, the tower with the Naru. Wrath Unleashed. Mal'Ganis, we need not be enemies. Join us to save Revendreth and enter exile. We were never exiled. I knew it! Thank you for playing, Valiant Champion. As Mal'Ganis is defeated, he reveals his plan. This was all a distraction. God, that was a close call, man. While you've been fighting him, the other Nephrazim went after the true target, the only master they've ever truly served, Sire Denethrius. Oh, and Mal'Ganis gets away. Maybe. And then Naru says, well, that sucked. We were never in exile, you gullible fool. It was all part of the Master's plan. Keep your trinket and your realm. They are dust in the face of her sire's true ambition. If only it just obeyed. Right, so yeah, that enemy infiltration book, that preface one. I guess we never shared those details. I guess. Ha. The Medallion, Revendreth, the Prince, and his cause, they are all short-sighted. Sire Denethrius has always held the long vision of this reality.
Hello.
This is worse than anything I could have anticipated. This will wrap up the quest where the Venthyr player adds the Medallion of Wrath to the days in Sinfall. Alright?
Look upon you and dare to feel.
So we've gathered all the medallions, which might be able to replace Denethrius in power, but apparently the Dreadlords are actually going to liberate their true master, Denethrius. Interesting.